Hello everybody, welcome to our lesson number 2, that is what and why do learners read. First of all, we have the first page right here, and it's really interesting in that some important definitions that they mention on the reading test. Right? So here says something very important: language and culture. Yes, because most of the time our students read about this: language and culture. Language because they need to learn, in this case, the main language, Spanish, or maybe or many different topics related about language. Okay, and culture because they read about history, for example, or literature that is very important for them. So this is the first thing about it: how important it's for learners or for our learners to read. Okay, and here there is an important fact that I see here. The word reading represents a slew of ideas. That is true. That is true. And agree with this, of course. Especially, sometimes we mention that reading is iconic. It's so important for our lives to read, but it was changing for all these years, as I told you many times before. 10 years ago, most people read a lot. Maybe we make a research about here in Tacna. Maybe we can see that most students nowadays, from primary to high school, including of course college, most of them, they don't read a lot for many different reasons. Okay, but first of all, to understand the first part of the reading, it was about language, culture, and literature. Okay, the important 3 things about reading, of course, related about our learners. So here it says, education is a matter of teaching and learning. Reading is absolutely iconic, as I told you. Most of the time when a teacher is going to teach reading, we have 2 things to think about it. Maybe you read it. Yes, you read it. Decoding and comprehension. Decoding because, as you see here, it's a mix of letters and sounds, diagrams, clumsy blanks, irregular words, and many things. So that those things right here make bored to students. So we have to see and we have to change it into a fun way or interesting way to that our students can be very happy to learn to. Okay. Here, comprehension to some word close to your stomach. Well, both cases, decoding, comprehension, there is a problem right here because this is my opinion. We're working this in a bad way because most of the time when you face a reading activity, it means it doesn't matter if it's decoding or comprehension activities. It's for evaluated. And sometimes it's stress. It's not fun or interesting indeed. It's an evaluation. And you have to do it because if you don't do it very well, you will have a bad qualification. So it's a stress for us. So we have to recommend our teachers maybe a future topic of investigation. The reading must be, first of all, a fun way to introduce our class, to provide opinions, arguments, some solutions according to our real situation of society or life. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Yes? Maybe a comprehension or reading activity can be as a motivation of a class. You give a piece of short test, okay, or a short power specific scientific article, and the students can give the ideas, opinions, how is this related to our society or our problems here in Tacna, for example. Not exactly like this, okay? Let's start. Today we have a reading. Here you have the test. You have, over there you have 20 questions to answer, and you have half an hour. and you are here sitting. This is not real reading, okay? So that's why in these lessons we are learning so different stages of reading. First of all, in the first lesson, we understand how much important is reading and how it is working. And now here we are seeing about our students, our learners. Okay, so later we learned about some important stages: pre-reading activities, during reading activities, and post-reading activities. Taking account your creativity, your knowledge, yes, your imagination to make it a really good job. Something that our students nowadays, they will like it a lot. And that is our main idea, that we are going to change as a class. We are going to give a solution for our society, where our students from English, from primary, from kindergarten, from high school, institutes and college can love reading, and they won't see reading as a simple test or part of the evaluation, because when it's a part of evaluation sometimes it gets bored at all, and I'm very sure about it, and I had experience of this, and you know it too. It's stress. I don't like this. No evaluation, come on. Reading step by step. Of course, at the end can be an evaluation, but before of this, you practice a lot of reading with your students. Okay? So yes, it's a really hard working job for us to develop reading skills. Because as I told you, and I'm very sure that you live before, when we see reading, we get stressed, we get bored. But we have to think about this, that this is part of our lives. So we need to read a lot. As I told you, if we read a lot, we get a lot of knowledge, and that knowledge can be applied in many different ways to make a solution in our society. That's why we read a lot. Okay, and of course you will have much vocabulary you read in English, of course. You can speak very well about different topics that you like and you like reading too. Okay, so let's continue here. Here says, you, as future English teacher, what you read and why you read. It's important to know, first of all, about you as a future English teacher. What do you like reading and why do you read that? Okay, I would like that you write your ideas about it, 4 or 5, that's okay. Okay. Later we'll discuss about it. In my case, nowadays, in this year, I read many scientific articles, theses, because I'm getting some knowledge to make some investigations. Yes, investigations to solve so many problems here in our society, and I'm working on it. And I know it's not very easy at all, but I can do it with some help. So I need to look for someone who can help me with this too, because just one person cannot solve a problem. We have to work as a team in this case. And why do I read it? As I told you, because I want to make research about my career, about English. And if you want to participate with me, and will be very happy that you can be part of this. What else? This is about academic, about for fun. I read some comics, Avengers comics, because I like it. I mean, it's so fun to see these comics and see that there are some different from the videos too. And I like, because it's my hobbies. It's a way that I can get relaxed just for a moment. This is about me. And of course, I read some important information in my free time about news, entertainment news, what else? Sports news in English. It's free time. Why? Because I like it a lot. It's a way for me to get relaxed and don't think about all the time work. Here says, your learners, what they read, why they read. It's an important thing here, this, maybe we can make a survey in our cases. Maybe you have a teacher from school that you know him or you know her, and you can talk about this. Teacher, I would like to make a research or survey. Then I would like to know what the students read nowadays and why do they read it. It's very important to know this because, you know, the society is changing, and of course each city, Tacna, Arequipa, Lima, are really different at all. So they read many different things. So it will be really interesting, yes, to know what they read, because I'm really honest with you, I'm not very sure at all about what my students love reading and why. I'm working at private university here, national and school and a public school, and I would like to know what my students read. I had a huge idea, but it's not exactly the same thing. You know, for example, first year they love reading about comics, second year they love reading about history and science, and third year they love reading about K-pops, and fourth year it's about love, and fifth year I don't know. So it's important to make a survey to know exactly what our students read. But in this activity, of course, try to use your imagination, think about this as a future English teacher, and write your ideas. Your future learners in 4 years or 3 years, what they will, in this case, what will they read and why? Think about this. It's really necessarily important to know this. It's a good idea what I told you. First of all, when you are going to start your professional practice, of course, many years later, or maybe you are working as an English teacher, who knows, it's important to make a survey to know about different skills, reading skills, writing skills, listening skills. But in this case, of course, our purpose is reading. So it will be really important to propose, right? What they read and why they read. Really interesting, eh? And here I have an example for you. There's an example. And here we can discuss these questions. Have you given your answer your learners text like this to read? A few times. You know, the reality here in public schools is so complicated. It's a really hard working job to do every time. But I used to play with websites, magazines, comics, yes of course, puzzles, novels, emails, yes of course. That is the idea. The idea is that, this is my opinion about this, we have to make a special module for our students where you can apply those skills, and you are gonna do it during this year, because here at the end of the semester you will have a module for reading activities for all ages. So the same can you do it in a second cycle with reading, with speaking, writing, and listening. And you can prepare the activities for your students, because most of the time as teachers, as we don't have anything here in our hands, we prefer to follow a book. We don't develop competencies most of the time. Of course, good teachers make their own module and prepare everything and do the best that they can do it, and they work all night long if it's possible to give a perfect class for our students to understand. But sometimes it's not the same for other teachers. They prefer to follow a book and that's it. This is something really bad. It's something that maybe we can discuss in another topic or in another meeting, because it's just 20 seconds and we finish our session here with this video. But of course, after this video, you can tell me any opinions and ideas about it. I'm very happy to talk about these topics. And the most important here that we learn about our learners. What do learners read and why? Okay? Thank you so much for your time. I hope it helped you a lot. I'm ready for your questions, your appreciations, and your ideas. Thank you.